Uh, so I'm going to briefly speak about uh, what being in an emotional abusive relationship means. And I don't usually make videos, but it's something that I thought is important um, for both men and women, but for mostly women because of this normative dynamic of relationships we're used to. We always think that it's okay for the man to be a little bit aggressive. It's fine if he loses his temper. It's fine if he tries to degrade me. Um, at least that's what I thought. But when I got out of a year and a half long relationship, I realized how much that had taken off lots of energy from me and had made me change into a very depressed person, someone who doesn't even feel like moving anymore, someone who's constantly having anxieties, fear, insomnia. And so, and the tricky thing about an emotional abusive relationship is that when you're in it and you're in love, you don't really know and can't even see or think that these are emotionally abusive signs, but unfortunately they are, and they're dangerous. They will not let you grow. Any relationship that will not let you grow intellectually or emotionally is dangerous for you. It'll only take off your life. It will take the potential off you from growing and being able to be someone productive, someone constructive in the future. So the first sign of an emotionally abusive relationship is the other person constantly degrading you, making you feel that you are, useless, worthless, not important, stuff like that. It could be through calling you names, could be through, uh, you know, condemning everything you do, criticizing a lot of things you do, not appreciating the different talents you have in life. So when a person calls you, stupid, dumb, idiot, could be a joke, but jokes have some truth in them. This source of the sense of disrespect um, will only lead you to become insecure about yourself because you truly love the person. So what they say matters at the end of the day. But an emotionally abusive person does not know that what they say or the sense of disrespecting will actually affect the other person. And it also would make them feel better. So when you disrespect someone or try to bring them down, emotional abusers will think that will basically feed themselves off that, and that's one of the reasons why they do it. It probably goes back to childhood phase or phase in their lives where they were ridiculed that or had some sense of insecurities grown in them that by this time they feel the need to even um, make the ones they love the most feel insecure about themselves. Second sign is a constant threat of leaving, breaking up, um, threats out of any small problem. So you could just, um, joke with someone in front of him or her. I'm sorry, I'm saying her, like I'm referring to him. That's because I was in an abusive relationship, but this as well applies on guys. I wasn't in a relationship with a girl, so I don't know how exactly girls can be abusive, but I've seen it as well. Anyway, so I was saying the second point was constantly threatening you. Every small thing, and it starts slowly. So like one day you would see that like you, for instance, like for the sake of being modern, you would write a comment on Facebook on one of your guy friends, and then he would come and make a huge deal out of it, and then at the end of it you would feel really threatened. Next time you would have to study with one of your guy friends, or you'd have to do anything, and then he threatens you more, and then eventually it escalates to him threatening to leave you, and it doesn't make sense in your brain because what you did wasn't really wrong. Everybody knows that this thing is fine, but your guy would just think it's wrong and make a big deal out of it. It's basically because they really feel insecure about that, and that's when They try to control you and dominate over you by trying to controlling your behavior. So threatening to leave you out of something that constitutes a really small problem is another sign. It's this constant need to threaten you so that you would try to change for them and try to beg them not to leave you is another sign of trying to dominate you and emotionally abuse you. A third sign is having someone who's emotionally unstable in the relationship. So you could have your partner easily lose his temper on the easiest issues or things that doesn't even matter. You could be in a situation where he would interpret something you did in another way, and usually strong couples would, sit together. One of them would be like, "Oh, by the way, I saw you doing this, and I don't understand why." So you would consult with each other and talk it through. But someone who's emotionally abusive would rage through it and then be passive aggressive about it, making you feel anxious, making you feel that you want to satisfy them. You don't really know what you did that was wrong, even though you had done nothing that was wrong. It was just a matter of misunderstanding. And so by some point, you literally feel that you're walking on eggshells. You feel that, anything might turn out to be something that would disturb them, and you don't really want that to happen. So you really try to live as low-key as possible, and that's not healthy either. A fourth sign of being in an abusive relationship is, of course, him controlling who you see. Sometimes couples are insecure about each other seeing exes. That's kind of, I understand why, but feeling the need to stop you from seeing a best friend who's a guy, feeling the need to, condemn you or criticize anything you do that involved a group of guys, laughing with guys, enjoying your time with guys, or controlling the way you dress, controlling who you get to see, where you get to go, who you get to talk to. Anything that has this sort of control in it is also abusive, because at the end of the day, they're treating you as something that should be tamed down, rather than an equal partner in a relationship where both partners could contribute in a constructive manner to help each other grow. Of course, I personally feel that this part, the last point I'm going to mention, is also a sign of abuse, where each person has their own way of being special and unique in life. We have different capabilities and capacities, but you'd feel at some point that you keep wishing that you keep how can I say this? You're happy about all the accomplishments that your partner has done. You feel like you're actively involved into pushing him to grow and to, telling him that you feel great for him doing well here and there, and then you're so happy and excited, but he never does the same thing for you. He rarely cares about your goals of life, your career accomplishments, things you do, the little things like being artistic, for instance, or being good at something, such as speech, such as being good at school. So when the person doesn't really appreciate your character and constantly wants you to refer to him, to just try to praise him for what he does, and at some point you really feel that your identity for him is what he defines it in relation to himself, rather than being an autonomous identity. And that's a problem as well, because the person who you truly are in this manner starts to fade away, and you only become what he wants you to become, which is also unfair, and it's emotionally degrading. And so I just wanted to bring these points out. If you feel like you're in an emotionally abusive relationship, and there are many articles written down about this, you better try to end it. Or I was lucky because we went into a fight, and this time he threatened me again, and but Instead of me just trying to fix things as I usually did, even though I was not wrong, I just let go. And after like a long while, I realized after speaking with a lot of people that this relationship was abusive and it wasn't good at all. And it's funny because in the first couple of weeks of breaking up, or months, you feel at your lowest, but once you pass that, you feel like you're starting to breathe, and then you hadn't been breathing freely like this for a while. Not literally, it could be literally, but you know what I mean. Anyways, so yeah, and just sometimes it's a matter of being honest with the person, and to be honest, if the person is like this and you're hoping them to change, do not continue the relationship with them hoping that they will change, because once a person is that much insecure and feels the need to dominate, to control, and to bully you like that, even though they would come back telling you that they love you and shower you with love in their own manner, at the end of the day, this person will never change unless they go through a life-threatening experience where they realize the need to change. But these things are these signs of abuse are things that have been built in them since a long time. They're insecurities that result out of like deeply rooted issues within family, within society, culture, things they saw, things they've been taught. So I personally don't think that it's safe to remain in such a relationship hoping that the person would change. Anyways, if you guys were facing something similar as well, feel free to share it with me, and hope this was helpful and that it shed light on some issues that you guys weren't sure what it was. And yeah, thanks.